As promised, back with Craig Button. Everybody loves Jordan Binnington now after his incredible performance at the Four Nations Face-Off. And it's so exciting as Darren Dreger on his podcast Friday, Craig, speculated that Blues GM Doug Armstrong could parlay that incredible performance by Jordan Binnington at the Four Nations into a potential trade of Binnington to a contender. Binnington has 2 years remaining on a contract, $6 million on the AAV. He has a modified no-move clause. You know, we spent all this time before the tournament asking, was he going to be a successful starter for Team Canada? Obviously he was. Obviously he proved, Craig, just as he always has, that when it really counts, he will come through. The question is, if you were a GM right now, Craig, would you be calling Doug Armstrong and asking about Jordan Binnington if you needed a goaltender for the stretch run?
Well, here, Jay, I'm just going to cut to the chase here. So speculation, Doug Armstrong could parlay it. Okay, great. That's all good speculation. Well, why don't we go to the heart of the matter? Why don't we go right to the Edmonton Oilers, okay? Because that's the place for Jordan Binnington if Stan Bowman is interested. Because Tampa Bay, Florida, Washington, Vegas, those teams don't need a goaltender. And those are the contenders. Winnipeg doesn't need a goaltender. You know, we saw with Colorado that there's one team that's looking to potentially upgrade their goaltending, and that's the Edmonton Oilers. So let's just cut through it all and just let's look at the Edmonton Oilers. Jordan Binnington is better than Stuart Skinner, full stop. You know that after what just happened at the Four Nations, that Jordan Binnington, I don't know what his modified no trade is, but I think he'd waive it to go to the Edmonton Oilers. And, oh, by the way, do you think Connor McDavid would go to bat for him? Yeah, absolutely. Jay, one of the biggest things you have to be when you're managing a team and you see your team, where you can improve it. You have to be cold-blooded. Bill Belichick called it dispassionate assessment. Jordan Binnington, upgrade on Stuart Skinner. So if you're Stan Bowman and you're getting wind that maybe Doug Armstrong might want to trade Jordan Binnington, get on the phone. Find a way to make it happen. Find a way to make your team stronger, because that's exactly what Jordan Binnington does. I don't see any other contender that would be interested in Jordan Binnington, but the Edmonton Oilers would be.
Canadians love this guy. He was just so sensational in that championship game, obviously in the overtime. Overall, Craig, Four Nations Face-Off, I haven't had a chance to talk to you about this tournament. It was like a game changer, and it really feels like a game changer in the U.S. It got a lot more attention than anything down there has gotten in years. What did you think of the tournament overall? Were you shocked in some ways, Craig, how successful it was?
I don't know if shocked is the right word. I was asked prior to the tournament, what do you think the intensity level would be? I thought it would be an 8 or 9 out of 10. It ended up being a 10 out of 10. And I think that all the teams really competed at that level. What we saw in the Four Nations is that when you get the best players playing with one another versus one another, you get a higher level of hockey. That's what we got to witness, and that's what we've missed since 2016. And certainly now, with the international calendar being introduced within the NHL schedule, it was a grand slam home run for the NHL and the NHLPA. We can't wait for the Olympics. We can't wait for the World Cup. And there were some things that prevented this from happening that were out of the control of everybody. And we know the players wanted to partake, but now seeing them partake, for them to feel it, for them to see it, and how much it means to them and to everybody watching it, it's only going to get better from here on in.